Yeah, soldiers, it's your boy Anime States coming to another video, and this is an April Fool's special. This is called The Filler Hell, a fanfic where Naruto has to deal with all the filler arcs that delay him. Before I get into this, shout out to my boy Drew for editing this video, and again, follow my social media on screen, and some more fun stuff in between, and yeah, yada yada yada. Stay tuned for videos this week, and alright, let's get into the April Fool's special, Filler Hell. Here we go. Filler Hell by Angel Wings 008. It was a normal day in Konoha. Well, as normal as things could get for him, at least. Naruto Uzumaki leaped from building to building, heading toward the Ichiraku ramen stand. Man, that last mission took me so long. I haven't been able to stop for ramen in forever. Jeez, you'd think that the filler arcs would leave more time to waste eating ramen instead of following one meaningless plotline after another. As a matter of fact, he needed to get back on track. There was no time to waste. He really wanted to get on with his training. Maybe he could ask around, find out where the Prairie Sage had been lately. That ass had told him that he would be his mentor, and what does he do? Disappear into thin air! Were producers of this anime that desperate to delay the main plotline in order for more manga chapters to come out? He wanted to find Sasuke as soon as possible. Then things would be set right again. With a smile and a spring in his step, Naruto jumped from the rooftop and continued on his way, determined to ask around on his way to Ichiraku. Turn a corner, he took a shortcut through an alley, filled with a new sense of purpose. However, mere seconds later, he was forced to stop short. A dark figure was crouched in the shadows. By the way he held himself, he was a shinobi and a threatening one. Naruto gasped and reached for a kunai knife, completely taken off guard. What a surprise! Things this interesting normally didn't happen outside of the canon storyline, at least not often. The animators wouldn't want to actually put much effort into interesting battle sequences. Without further delay, which was shocking considering the 200 plus filler episodes he'd been through, the figure stepped out of the darkness. The face he saw was the last one he would have ever suspected. "Greetings, Naruto Uzumaki," said a deep, familiar voice. Naruto shouted in surprise at who he saw. Itachi Uchiha? What are you doing here? No way. There was just no way. They hadn't bothered to even mention him in ages. The eldest Uchiha brother sighed, whipping black locks of hair out of his face in exasperation. Honestly, I was getting bored. You have no idea how dull it is sitting around at the Akatsuki hideout day after day. And the fact that these crappy filler episodes haven't even bothered to mention characters that are a gigantic part of the storyline kind of bothers me. So, I'm making my own pathetic attempt to jumpstart something interesting. Wait, but does that mean that this is outside of the canon and kind of filler too? Naruto questioned, confused. Itachi sighed and rolled his eyes. Perhaps. But I figured that maybe if I came to give you a useful piece of information, you could take it and get the show back on the right track, where it belongs. Dry has been sniffing around for clues about the Akatsuki. If you go beg Lady Tsunade for some dirt on it, maybe she'll give you some idea as to where he is. My coming here might mean I'm playing straight into the hands of this pathetic animation team, but it's worth it if I can end this once and for all. Wow, thanks a lot. You're supposed to be an evil murderer, but it's really nice of you to put yourself out there like that. Who knew, Mr. I murdered my entire clan could be so awesome? Psh, and the fangirls thought Sasuke was cool. Itachi shrugged his shoulders in a nonchalant fashion. I'm a very self-sacrificing kind of person. You'll learn that in the future. What? Never mind. Farewell, Naruto Uzumaki. Hopefully by then, I'll be playing an actual role in this anime again. Without another word or a single dramatic monologue, he leaped up and disappeared into thin air. How? Who cares? Nothing made sense anymore. Normally this would have taken about 3 to 5 episodes covers, depending on how many flashbacks and repeat scenes were used. Now, it was condensed into roughly 1.5 pages. How much easier was that? He could get used to this, even if it did mean it was purposefully throwing off the pacing of this entire fanfiction. Shaking his head, Naruto sprinted out of the alley and back into daylight, attempting to gather his thoughts. That was never easy for him to do, and now it was even worse. How was he supposed to revive the dead storyline? Well, there was only one thing left to do. He wasn't going to ask Lady Tsunade because he knew she wouldn't tell him anything anyway, and Kakashi Sensei would just call him an idiot. He was going to have to travel around to the other villages to see if anyone else had heard anything. Granted, he could probably just do the same thing here in the Leaf Village, but for the sake of inserting gigantic plot holes, he would travel to the other ones instead. It would be the most exciting adventure he'd had in a long time. Actually, happy about the prospect of a long mission, he sprinted down the street. Thoughts of ramen long gone. His apartment wasn't far, and he would need to pack some things before he set out. That's it! No more delays! I'm going to find Privy Sage, get stronger, and find Sasuke! No more stupid, half-baked side quests! However, as soon as he had completed the thought, something made him stop and freeze where he stood. Sitting under a Sakura tree, because otherwise it wouldn't be cliche enough, was his longtime crush Sakura. Much to his horror, she was sobbing, her face in her hands. Without another thought, he ran forward and crouched in front of her, determined to get to the bottom of it and kick the crap out of whoever had made her cry. Surely his quest could wait for another minute, right? What's wrong, Sakura-chan? Hesitantly, she looked up, her green eyes red and puffy from crying. Tears streaked down her cheeks, even as she reached up to wipe them. Oh, Naruto, it's horrible! What is it? Did someone hurt you? I'll kill whoever it was, I swear! Sakura's eyes shimmered as she looked at him, and fresh tears sprang anew. I went to the bakery this afternoon, and guess what? My favorite triple chocolate cheesecake is gone! They usually always have them, but now they don't, and I need it! That's what I use to drown my sorrows over Sasuke! Unable to go on, she dissolved into a fresh bout of sobbing, with one minor change. At least her face was buried in her arms instead of her hands this time. Sasuke, 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 she wailed in such a high-pitched, anguished voice. Naruto could have sworn he saw a few birds drop from the trees. Man, what an annoying sound. And that was bad coming from him. He was usually the one making annoying sounds. Sakura? Why do you always feel the need to say his name so much? I know he broke your heart, but I heard you the first time. Enough was enough. Constant repetition of his name was not going to have an impact whatsoever. Besides, if much more was said about the youngest Uchiha, then people might as well start calling the show Sasuke instead of Naruto. I said it about 1,000 times in 100 episodes. It's kind of hard to break the habit now. Annoyed, she crossed her arms over her chest and pouted, like any adolescent girl would. Point taken. That was exactly what he'd been thinking anyway. He supposed it wasn't her fault. She didn't write her dialogue. I have shitty, useless dialogue, and I don't have cheesecake. My life is over. She then proceeded to cry, scream, throw a tantrum, and use whatever other devices that could take up any outrageous amount of screen time. Naruto couldn't take it anymore. He had to shut her up. Alright. I'll find you some cheesecake, okay? Couldn't be any worse than listening to this. Really? Her eyes lit up at the prospect of chocolates. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Naruto. Normally, this is the part where I would launch into a monologue about how useless I feel, but for now, I'm just gonna let you do all the work without bitching. I'll be right here when you get back. Bye-bye now. To his shock, she actually stood up and physically pushed him in a direction back towards the center of the village. And before he knew it, he was staying in the street, with Sakura waving to him a few dozen feet away. Wow, that was quick. This was surprisingly fast-paced for a... Wait a second. Damn it! I just got sucked into another filler, didn't I? Naruto lamented to himself. He wasn't expecting an answer, but he got one all the same. Yep, sounds about right, said Choji, who had just magically appeared right next to him. Naruto screamed and stumbled backward as the boy stuck his hand into his bag of chips. Ino, Kiba, and Neji behind him. One event after another, it was all happening so fast. Not that he was complaining, he was just used to plots progressing at a painfully slow pace. Just thinking about it kind of made him want to lie down and take a nap. He could sleep for weeks and not miss a thing. What the hell are you guys doing here? He screamed instead, having no choice but to suffer through it. This is Phil, remember? They have to throw the most unlikely teams they can into these plot lines in a desperate attempt to characterize ignore people like us, replied Kiba, talking as if it was something any idiot should know. Akamaru, who was perched on top of his head, barked as if to emphasize the point. Yeah, but seriously, I don't even want to go. Why would I want to go get cheesecake for someone else? Why would a ninja even bother to do that? Choji asked, his voice mournful. Ino scowled and smacked him in the back of the head. Shut up, Choji! If it weren't for scenes like these, we would never get any screen time. Choji hung his head, accepting the sad truth for what it was. You're right. The dark-haired Hyuga of the group stalked forward to stand in front of Naruto, his Byakugan activated, boring into him. Haughtily, he crossed his arms over his chest and tilted his nose into the air. Speak for yourself. I'm Neji. Naruto snarled and clenched his fists. That was so arrogant. You really pissed me off, you know that? What the hell was your problem? He'd been alright ever since Naruto had beaten him in the tuning exams, but he was still portrayed as a real jerk whenever it was convenient for a particular plot arc they were in. I have a superiority complex, get used to it. The orange-clad Genin scowled but said nothing. Can't argue with that. Damn it all, fine, let's just get this over with, okay? Maybe if this was done quickly, he could get on with his quest before these fucked writers stuck him in another stupid situation. Hey, Naruto, why did you agree to do this anyway? You must have known it was a plotless side quest waiting to happen, Kiba barked, annoyed, his eyes narrowed in contemplation as he scratched his chin. You couldn't want to impress Sakura, that's for sure. What? Who does Dog Breath think he is? Sure, he just agreed to shut Sakura up at first, but now he realized it was a golden opportunity. Why the hell not? She might go on a date with him. Oh, come on, Naruto. You can't fool us. You're obviously, I can't say that word, otherwise it'll get demonetized, so I'll just say happy for Sasuke. You obsess over him as much as Sakura does, Kiba declared in a sly tone, a smile stretched across his face. What was really going on in the Valley of the End, huh? The Jinchuriki groaned and rolled his eyes, raising his face to the heavens. If there was a god, he was going to kick his ass when he saw him. This is going to be a long filler arc. And that is the end of this April Fool's fanfic read, Filler Hell. This fanfic was not uploaded on April Fool's, but I felt like it was a good thing to read on April Fool's, considering that this entire story is very, very funny. But anyways, shout out to my 10 patrons, their names on screen. Stay tuned for videos this week, and stay tuned for a bunch of other stuff in between. Shout out to my boy Drew for ending this video, and shout out to my social medias, they're on screen. And yeah, that's about it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, share the video. This has been your boy, the Anime Sage, signing out. Peace, your host, and shit closes out. Bye-bye. Peace.
What I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes. Call me aggressive with my flow. Call me offensive even though Joe, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, and out, you know, spell it out. Me, you know, spell it out. Let me, yeah, was never this, never for you, I'm feel this, never be you, starting I'm feel this, got listen, on now of this, I swear you, get on the game, I'm myself, comes this, hard games, I'm with size, the hard games, I'm 6 7 that I'm not